We apologize for that brief hiccup at the beginning of this segment, but thank you very much for being part of the show all the way from 9 a.m. I hope you enjoyed Solome, who has a brand new single that's out on audio. The video isn't out yet, Nzani, and it's doing pretty well. She was in the studio sharing her philosophy in life, and I hope you enjoyed that. And I have yet another man, not a musician, but someone else who has a strong philosophy, and you heard him speak. A lot of you don't know he's a Christian. So that guy talks about money. But Ethan Mussolini, welcome to the show.
Thank you, David. Good morning.
Good morning. Yes. For starters, the name Mussolini.
Yes.
It sounds like it came out of a Russian movie.
Well, you know, what I usually tell people is there used to be that dictator Benito Mussolini, but apparently if you look at my name, it has a single S. So I usually advise people I only have half the dictatorship, so you're very safe and sound.
Okay, let's talk a bit about what you do, Success Africa. You are a motivational speaker.
Yes, so I do motivational speaking, I do human resource training, I do life coaching. I basically focus on those soft skills that are not taught in school and yet extremely critical. Things like communication, confidence, business and social etiquette, team building, customer service. You and I know that once we get to the field, things like courage and confidence are critical.
Yes.
You wouldn't even be on the screen right now if you didn't have that. And yet we are not taught that in school, so that's
no,
a
we're
specialty.
not. So how did you get into this though? I mean, is there a course where I can go and say, you know what, I'm starting to be a motivational speaker? Or is it just something you just, you know?
Well, you'll be shocked that I made that decision way back in 1998. I was seated in church and the late Dr. Gerard Serwaji, who became my first mentor actually, was talking about never give up. And in my heart, I felt that, hey, you know what? This is what we need in Africa, to give people hope, to give them inspiration, because I believe we have all we need. It's just that sometimes you lack that extra push, so to speak, and also the right mindset and skill set and the work ethic. So I knew I had a gift in communication when I was in high school. Then later at the university, I knew I had a gift of encouragement. So I just said, how do I get people to pay me to do what I love doing, what I'm passionate about, and gifted at? And here we are, 17 years later.
You're making a lot of money.
Well, yes, in a way.
So let's talk a bit about money, because I mean, you're making quite a bit of money. You are a Christian, and there's always this conflict between Christianity as we know it now and money. People don't understand it. People don't understand. It's one of two things. Either it runs the person who is making the money, or people just hide away from the wealth because they think, you know, it is the devil. But let's start thinking about, let's go first with the confidence for money. What is the importance of money to a Christian? Why does a Christian need money?
So first of all, I mean, we are living in a cash economy, first of all, especially when you're in Uganda. So money is necessary. But the key thing, at the end of the day, it's a tool, just like any other tool, like having a pen. I mean, I have a pen here. So it's how you use it at the end of the day. So you can use this pen or this tool, so to speak, in this case money, to either sign something that will inspire people or sign fake checks that will take you down the drain. So in the same way, how we treat money is extremely important. How we look at it, how we perceive it. I think there are usually two extremes, like you rightly put it. Sometimes in church there is a misinterpretation about that the love of money is the root of all evil. And remember, it's not money which is evil. It is the love, the obsession, where now it takes over your life. But at the end of the day, we need money to, I mean, look at, you had to put on a tie, had to dress up, had to drive here. We need to be able to move. But also at the end of the day, move how, where, what do we use it for?
Okay, so you talked a bit about the obsession of money.
Yes.
It is normally a very thin line between knowing between making money and knowing you're being ruled by it. Because a lot of times we're not aware of the fact that money is controlling us. So you who has made money and are a motivational speaker and a life coach and understand these boundaries, how can someone start to know, you know what, I've got a new job, I've come into a job that's paying me 4 times more than I was earning before. How do I start to know that the money I'm making is starting to control me, becoming an obsession, that I am falling in love with the money? How do you start to know that?
I think the core basis, I find it through the concept of work-life balance. For example, we know that you as a person, at the end of the day, you're a spiritual being. Therefore, are you spending time with your Creator, for example? Health, are you creating time for your health? I have a family, for example. Do I spend some time with my daughter and wife? Do you spend time to invest in your mind? So now, if you find at least you create time for all of those, then you're in charge of your life. But there are also people whereby they think about money, they dream about money, they forget about all these other areas of their life, like their health, their family, and they are focused on their career. They leave home so early, let's say 5 a.m., the children are still in bed, they come back past midnight when they're in bed, and then, so at the end of the day, it's now the money which is driving you, and you're forgetting these other areas of life. And I think as we create our own lifestyle, we have to pay attention to the balance, to say, okay, how do I balance my life out to know that I'm creating a time frame for all these other areas of life, to know that money is just one of those things.
All right. So you've made money a lot. You tithe. I assume you're making a lot of money. I mean, you look like a person who's making a lot of money.
Well, that looks can lie sometimes.
Looks can lie sometimes. But there's the thing of Christianity and saying there's the other school of thought. If God has blessed me with money, I'm going to show it. So I'm going to drive the nicest car I can buy. I'm going to, be in a nice house, wear a nice, as in you need the money to show that God has blessed you with money. Is there a problem with that school of thought?
Well, it depends on the perspective. If it is to just show, then for me, I think there is a problem there. But if you have all the wealth that you have, and you feel that, hey, I'll feel more comfortable in a 5-bedroomed house rather than a 2-bedroomed house, and you have that budget, for me, that's fine. For me, the issue I have, David, is sometimes people even spending the money that they don't have. For example, we know that there are people who will go for car loans just because their neighbor also has a car. And I'm saying, how do you how do you get a loan? How do you drive a liability on the road? Because you're not even enjoying the car. You're worried. One of my friends is Patrick Vitature. I mean, he has lots of money. He drives very nice cars. But you know what? He has worked for it. Since he was a teenager, he's been doing business. He's very wealthy. So he should drive that. But you know what? I heard a story, David, not so long ago, of someone who was in his late 20s. He saw one of the rich guys in town driving an S-Class Mercedes-Benz. And then he went, sold his car of land so that he can also drive the same car. Now, that's a challenge. That is the showing off. But do your means allow that? And at the end of the day, I think, David, we should pay more attention to the value that we have inside, the quality sometimes people lack self-esteem and confidence, and they feel they have to derive confidence and self-esteem by putting all these other glamour around them, but yet forgetting the inner person. And I think if we can pay more attention to that, then we can even enjoy the wealth around. Because I'm sure you've seen people drive the nicest of cars and dress very nice, but looking very miserable. What's going on? There's something missing inside. Having said that, we can do it both ways. I believe we can enjoy all the abundance that we have, but also pay attention to the inner person. So I think there is a need for a balance. Because the other extreme, some Christians speak about wealthy people as if they are these evil people and like money is this ugly thing. No, it's a good tool, because at the end of the day, even when they pass the basket around and there are projects to be funded, hey, you still need cash. So I think the question is balance.
So there's the whole charity aspect of things, because we believe, again, there's the school of thought, we believe I should not live lavishly. Instead, I should get what is extra, or instead of living in a 5-bedroom house, I'll do 3-bedroom and help someone else who doesn't have. Now, from you as a life coach with that kind of perspective, where does that come in? Where does it come and say, I've had enough, I need to start giving someone else? How would you advise someone to go about that? Because again, it's a thing where you don't know, okay, how much of my money do I need to give? Yeah, because there's the classic 10% to tithe, but then you have, so how do you balance that out?
That's a great question. For me, at the end of the day, also let's remember that people are different, because there are people who are very comfortable. They feel very okay at the bare minimum. Even I know people who have lots of money and they'll drive an old beat-up car and they're comfortable with that. For me, at the end of the day, it's what makes you happy, not what will society appreciate. That's rule number one. The second thing is to remember that as we are doing charity, let's also remember to take care of ourselves, because there are also people who feel they have to take care of everyone else and then they are the last ones to be taken care of. So I think it is to first...
What is the importance of that, though? Remembering that you have to, I mean, if I decide I want to give all my money away, then, I mean, it's how I want to live. So what's the importance of me taking care of myself?
Well, if you can still live comfortably. But I also know of people who have gone out to charity and given out stuff, and yet the following morning the landlord is knocking, where is my money? But they have given it away. So for me, I think the key thing is to know, fine, let's give out to the tithe, the 10%, let's give to charity. But at the end of the day, first remember to take care of you and your family at the end of the day. Then to how other smart couples do it, or individuals do it, is to say 10%, let's say tithe. The other 10% is to charity. And then the rest I can see how to live off that. But of course, in a wise and intelligent way, so to speak. So I think there is, at the end of the day, it's the balance. It's good also to remember that to live your life, but also make a difference in society out there.
So let's speak about the 90%, because that's money that we never talk about.
Yeah.
We've given God his 10%.
Yeah.
Does God actually care how we spend the rest of the 90%?
Of course, I strongly believe so, because I believe we are here as stewards. I believe, for example, we've given this platform as an opportunity, so how you take care of it also matters to God. So for me, for example, if you have the other 90% and you're spending it on drugs or investing it in things that don't make a difference in society, for me, I don't think that is being a good steward of your money. But if, for example, it is to set aside some money for your children's education in future, for example, to help out build a school, then, or to take care of yourself, now you're being a good steward of your money. So for me, and it's not just money, but everything else, to remember that is this decision adding value to me and the society that I'm living in? That's
the number one core. You have to always ask myself, if I'm buying a car, is it adding value to me and the people around me? If I'm buying a house,
yes,
it is not out of pomp and the need for status, because again, money is a status symbol.
Yes.
And so isn't there a need for Christians, so to speak, to gain because money brings a certain kind of respect. Yeah. So you as a Christian man, you saying, you know what, I'm going to make money, I'm going to gain a kind of status so people can listen to me, to what I have to say. Do you think there is a need for that, and that's why, for a little bit, we should run after money for a bit? And so you're in that place where,
yes,
you have respect, like, Ethan Mussolini. I mean, is there a need for that?
So I think at the end of the day, it's what is the purpose? I think the purpose, if the purpose is to just show off and gain respect, that is not sustainable, because now it means if one day you don't have the money, now you feel worthless. I think that we should, the core thing is to say, why am I creating this money? One is take care of ourselves. Two, to make a positive difference in society. One of the things I do is I'm a Rotarian also. There are things we are doing. For example, my club, we are involved in building the Mukono Hospital, Rotary Mukono Hospital. That is something that is positive. And one of my goals is I want to be able to reach a level whereby as I make money, I can contribute lots of money to whether it's my church or to charities, to make that positive difference, not just to be admired, but to know in my heart, out of my own personal fulfillment, say, you know what, I made that difference. And that's the key.
Okay, so now we talk about the balance of roles. You talked about it a bit earlier, family, spirit, you know, and all the things that come with life, career. But you see, here's the thing though. To make money that supports your family in the way that you want to, sometimes requires you making a lot more sacrifices on the side of family, on the side of career. So how do you strike a healthy balance where you know that I need to make money to take my child to this school because I want them to go to this school, but I also need to make time? How do you balance the roles,
So, for example, I will tell you, me as a self-employed person, every Monday I switch off my phone. That's the time I spend with me, and also with my little girl, for example. Now, I think the key is to, at the end of the day, what I've discovered is as we get busier and busier in our lives, usually it's not even the amount of time, but the quality of time. For example, to say that sometimes when I get home, let's say late in the evening, I just make sure, for example, that I'll go to the bedroom just alone with my daughter, no distraction, no nothing, no phone. And then we are having, because she's just 8 months, so she will just make some noise, but that's our way of communicating. And also make sure that at least once a week, I'm able to spend quality time with my wife, to make sure that at the end of the day, I spend at least an hour reading something new that adds value to my career and to my mental growth. So it's about scheduling our time frames. You'll be shocked, David, that sometimes when I'm in workshops, I ask people, who knows how they are going to spend their week? And usually not more than 20% of the people put up their hands. So that is living life by accident, not by design. But if you consciously design your time frame and say, I'm blocking this time for my spiritual growth, I'll block this time for work, but I also block this time for family. Like my wife and I, we typically wake up at usually at 6 o'clock, not wake up at 6 o'clock, but between 6 and 6:30, that's time to work out. So at the end of the day, you schedule it, and then you develop patterns. Then you'll find a way that you're able to live a balanced life. But the one last thing that I would like to comment is some people choose to pursue wealth and they forget their health. I'm sure you've ever had that.
Yes.
And then we spend the rest of our lives spending the wealth we made to restore our health. I think that's another thing that we have to really pay attention to.
Well, thank you very much, Ethan. Unfortunately, we've run out of time, but it's been a nice tete-a-tete. Hopefully next time we shall have you for a lot longer.
Thank you.
But is there any last thing that you'd like to share?
So the one last thing I would like to share is that wealth, just like any other tool, it depends on how you utilize it. So the key is not to be consumed by wealth, but ideally to be consumed by the purpose in your life, and just use this wealth to not to drive, but to drive the purpose of your life, to make sure that you make this difference as to why God created on this planet Earth, and make sure that you're not living for wealth, but rather wealth is a tool to enable you make a difference in society and live according to the God's call and purpose that you're here on planet Earth for.
Well, thank you very much, Ethan.
You're welcome, David. It's been a pleasure chatting with you.
If you have any questions or comments, we can't have him here for long, but please put them on our Facebook page or our Twitter. We'll try and get them to him. Hound him so he can get online and answer those, just sort of block out a bit of time for us. But thank you so much. NTV_GXP is the Twitter handle, NTVGXP is the Facebook address, and you can be able to get in touch with us. We still have a lot coming on the show. We have two amazing photographers coming onto the show to just tell us a bit about their story and a bit about their philosophy. But for now, DJ Twonjix on the ones and twos playing you some great music. Good morning.